before we begin today, a couple things you need to know. Number one, the decimal. Okay, anything to the left of the decimal, that is your whole number. Okay, anything to the right is basically your fractional part. All right. So if I had like 0.4 of anything, do I have more or less than a whole? Less. One whole would be 1.0. Whoops, that's not a zero. One whole would be 1.0. So if I had 1.0 pizzas, that's one pizza. If I had 1.5 pizzas, how much pizza is that?
One and a half.
1.5 pizzas. All right. So everything in the decimal system is based off of tens. Once you get to 10, it bumps the next number up. And it's just like a counter on a clock. All right. So if I'm counting, like 0.8, 0.9, what comes next?
One.
So 0.1?
No.
1.0. Yeah, just look at it this. Pretend the decimal's not even there. 0.8, 0.9, and then after that comes 10. So what it does is it rolls this back to a 0, but then it bumps this next number up to the next whole. All right, just like a clock numbers, okay? Now, some things that you need to know, place values. This is the ones place, and the next one is tens. What's next? Hundreds, right? Yeah, I'm going to stop right there. But on the right of the decimal, it goes like this. What's the first place to the right of the decimal? We have ones. Oh my goodness. You guys got some learning to do. Tenths with a TH. Then the next one, hundredths with a TH. What's next? Once. There's no such thing as the once place, okay? There is no once place. So the next one would be thousandths with a TH. Everything to the right of the decimal has a TH on it. Now keep in mind, the only one, if I go to the left, tens, hundreds, thousands. If I go to the right of the decimal, tenths, hundreds, thousands. The patterns repeat except for these ones have TH, right? The only one that's different is this guy right here. There's no ones place, okay? Because one means a whole, one whole. So if you start there and go left, as you go out, they should match. Tens, tenths. Hundreds, hundredths. Thousands, thousandths. What would be next after thousands?
Millions.
No.
Millions.
Oh my goodness, you guys got some learning to do. After thousands, actually, let's do this. You see my decimal chart up here? That one up there. To the left of the decimal, you got ones place, tens place, hundreds, thousands. What comes next would be the 10,000s, then the 100,000s, then the millions, and then the 10 millions, 100 millions. Then the billions, 10 billions, 100 billions. That pattern repeats. Ones, tens, hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. So 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. 1 million, 10 million, 100 million. Those patterns repeat. For our work today, these places are the ones we're focusing on. The tenths, the hundreds, and the thousands. Now I'm going to tell you right now, the way you read this, you find out you just read the number that's there, and then you go straight down by where it ends. So if I had a decimal like this, okay, the way you would read this is a 79, and that last number is in the what place? Look at the second place over. We just did this. Hundredths. So that is 79 hundredths. As a fraction, 79 hundredths looks like this. 79 over 100. Okay? What if I gave you this? What is that? Read the number first. It's a 6 in the thousands place. So as a fraction, that would be 6 over 1,000. So do you see how that works? And it also works the same way backwards. If I had 17 over 100, what is that as a decimal?
0.17.
0.17. Now you always have to double check when you're writing this. Is that a 17 in the hundredths place? Yes, it is. What about this? How would I write that as a decimal?
0. Point. It's just like the 6. 0
Where should this 8 go?
and the thousands.
Right, so is this the thousandths?
No.
No. Is this the thousandths?
No.
No. Is this the thousandths?
Yes.
Yes, so it should go there, right? That's how you do these. So on the front of your paper, when it says write each fraction as a decimal and say it, and yes, I do want you to actually say it after you do each one. Number 1, that's a 349 in the thousands place. How should that look, do you think?
0.349.
49, sure, that's good. Okay, let's do one more. Oh, we got to say it. So that is what? Not 0.
Oh.
Don't say 0 point. When we read this, read the number first. What's the number? 349 what? Thousandths. That's how you say it. All right, let's do one more. 6/10. How do I draw that? How do I write that as a decimal?
0.6.
There you go. Read it. That is
6. 6/10.
6/10. Very good. Okay. Let me ask you this. I don't know if you'll have any on here or not. Is it possible to have... Whoops. No, I'll do it that way. Is it possible to have that?
No. Yeah.
If I fill in the blanks, where should this 17 end? Where should the 7 go? Here, here, or here? Beginning, middle, or end? And? No, because then that would be point 17. That's 1700, or yeah, 1700s.
I know.
This says 17/10. So the 7 has to end in the what place?
7.
1.7 like that? Can I do that?
No. Oh, 17 needs to be.
Hold on. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Is this a 17 that ends in the 10th place?
Yeah.
Yes, it is, because this is the 10th place, right? So that is 17 tenths. Now, most of you are looking at this and say, wait a minute, that's improper fraction, right? That means I have more than one whole. The way I have it written here, does that show more than one whole?
Yeah.
1.7, that's one whole, and then 7/10 more, right? So that's perfect. We can do that. So you might have some on here that are improper fractions. That's fine. Same as the rest. If that's 17/10, you better have that 7 in that 10th place where it belongs. Okay, that's how you do those. Let's see. One last thing I want to talk about, the story problems. They all work the same. Basically, you're going to have to figure out how do you write the decimal for what they're talking about. Now, they made it easy on us this time. Everything's out of 1,000 or 100 or tens. So, for example, look at number 17. A large building has 1,000 windows and 5 of the windows need to be replaced. What decimal represents the number that need to be replaced? 5 out of 1,000 is what as a decimal?
0.005.
That's a 5 in the thousandths place, right? So there you go. Okay.